Hi, I'm William, and welcome back. Today we'll be looking at Thunderhead Chapters 1 to 3. Thunderhead is a sequel to the book Side by Neil Shusterman. If you didn't read the book, we'll go back and look at some important things, so it's fine. First, we look at the main characters. We have Citra, who is a protagonist. She is hot-headed and instinctive, and at the end of the book, she transforms into Scythe Anastasia. Second, we have Rowan, who is also a protagonist. He is observant and methodical. And at the start of Thunderhead, we know that he is Scythe Lucifer. Third, we have Thunderhead, who is not technically a character, but it is a governing body of society. It is a computer and artificial intelligence. It is also all-knowing and all-benevolent. Third, we have Scythe Goddard. He is believed he believed that killing should be enjoyed, so that made him the antagonist. He started the New Order and was the leader of it, and sides started to join him in his opinion until he was killed off by Rowan. But maybe he's still not dead. Setting. We must remember that this is a dystopian book, which means it's the sad future of right now. There is no dying because Thunderhead can revive everyone. And the Thunderhead controls everything but death, and death is controlled by Scythedom. Where we left off. At the end of the book's side, we see that Faraday is still alive. Rowan escapes with Faraday from the rest of Scythedom. Citra becomes honorable Scythe Anastasia. Goddard and his elegy are all killed by Rowan. And we see the introduction of Scythe Lucifer. Now let's begin to look at the starting chapters of Thunderhead. First, the patron historics. These are the people that the names were chosen by sides to represent themselves. First was Johannes Brahms. We see Scythe Brahms get scared by Scythe Lucifer, but not killed yet. Johannes Brahms was a German pianist slash composer in the Romantic era. He was born in 1833 and died in 1897. He spent his professional life in Vienna, and he composed the academic festival overture and the German Requiem, and his famous lullaby, which Scythe Brahms uses. Second is Robert H. Goddard. He was an American engineer slash inventor. He lived from 1882 to 1945. He was named the father of modern rocket propulsion, and he started the space age basically. And he created and built the first liquid fueled rocket. Third is Xenocrates. He's a Greek philosopher and mathematician from way back, 396 to 314 BC is when he lived. He was the leader of the Platonic Academy, and he closely followed the teachings of Plato, and his works were also closely aligned with him. Third is Anastasia Romanov, which is who Citra chose. She was the Grand Duchess of the last sovereign of the Imperial Russia, which is Tsar Nicholas II. She lived a very short life from 1901 to 1918, and she was executed along with the rest of the family because of corruption among her family. Next, we have Lucifer, who was later Rowan. He is non-human, so he basically never dies. She is believed to be the angel who defied God and became the devil. Okay, confessionals. Now, this was mentioned in chapter 3. It is of the Christian religion. There are 3 seats with a priest in the middle. Penitents come forward from either side, and there are 3 seats because it move. Then people can move quicker. Penitents come forward to confess their sins to the priest in the middle, and after the confession, penitents may be reconciled with God and the church. Okay, vocabulary. This is new. I wanted to introduce this because I realized that there are a lot of quite advanced vocabulary in this book. Uh, Here are some examples of vocabulary. In the worksheet, there are some blank spaces where you can follow and look at different more words and write it out as shown. Uh, an example is vestigial, which is found in the chapter 2, and it was part of Rowan's thinking of imagination, where it had become vestigial, meaning pointless, and he thought that that was the problem in society when people never died. There are other vocab, this from chapter 1 and this from chapter 3, and please follow the format and fill it out. Themes. First, we look at immortality and human traits. Because this is just the start of the book and characters are just being introduced and nothing big really happens. I didn't want to go into too much detail, but it's basically the battle of conscience, which is the old guard vs the new order. Uh, as people in the worksheet, there are multiple blank spaces where you can fill out answers. Now, is conscience a innate human trait? Because if it is, then people all should have it. But as we see in the book Thunderhead, as people become more godlike, meaning they can't die and they're less human or barbaric, they become. Do they lose their sense of conscience, or do they just uh, never had it, and it was just a sense of living on? Um, and also and how do humans act different from the book and compared to people in real life? And is it just because of not dying, or are there other factors? Also, does the end justify the means? Because Scythe Lucifer kills a lot of corrupt sides, which should be a good thing, but how come he has the authority to kill and not others? Also, if people conquer death sometime, is this a realistic model? Is the book a realistic model? Okay, second we look at corruption and rules. First we look at the friction of Scythe and Thunderhead. In chapter 3 is clearly shown they needed three different boots to communicate between them, and it's very complex, and Scythe and Xenocrates couldn't even say hello or good morning. Second, we also look at who watches the Watchmen. It's a book. Watchmen is a book about superheroes and how the superheroes aren't always good, and it's really about, and this describes sides too, because sides are too powerful and there are no limiting factors except their 10 rules, and some of them don't even follow it. Also, it's Scythe Lucifer allowed to glean sides, because since he was he worked among the good sides, Scythe Faraday, and the bad sides, Scythe Goddard. Is he allowed to glean them, or is he like a bad person? And third, we look at Thunderhead. Thunderhead follows a set of rules very strictly, and he has a strict no contact with side though. Now, this might prove to be a problem later, wink wink. But we will see, because if this proves to be an obstacle, the Thunderhead can't budge against it, but should it be able to budge against it? Now, thank you for tuning in into this video. I'll talk more about themes in the next video about the chapters 4 to 6, because we'll also be ending the book Thunderhead. And thank you for listening, and bye.